What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister, who I don't remember her name. What's your name?
Delinda.
Delinda. Okay, Delinda. And I'm also joined by my brother, Derek.
What's up, everybody?
And today we are going to talk about the classic Jurassic Park. Does it hold up in 2020? Of course it does, because it's a classic. But first, let's get to the news. I'm going to start off with a bit of sad news. So it just so happens Chadwick Boseman, the actor who plays Black Panther, he also played in 21 Bridges. He played Jackie Robinson in, what was it, 42?
Yes.
Wait, it was called the Jackie Robinson story, wasn't it? Was it called 42?
It was called, the full name is 42, the Jackie Robinson story.
Gotcha. Okay. Unfortunately, he passed away this week.
He also played James Brown.
Oh, he did play. He did play James Brown. Excellent actor. Seemed like an all-around good person. But apparently he was battling cancer, colon cancer. None of us knew about that. That's sad to see.
For 4 years.
Yeah. I believe I read that said that his family wanted to keep his diagnosis private, which is why I think his death was so shocking, because it's like you had no idea that he was sick, and that during the time he's getting treatment and all that, he made all of these movies.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing, really.
Yeah, because he was still doing movies. 21 Bridges would have been filmed after Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
And he was diagnosed in 2016.
And also the movie, yes. Yeah. He also filmed the movie The Five Bloods as well in that time period.
Yeah.
Time frame.
Okay.
That's on Netflix, right?
I believe so. It was a Netflix movie.
Okay. All right.
A Netflix original, if you would say.
Yeah. So that was a shocker to me. I was actually told during one of my streams, one of my viewers commented and let me know, and I was just like, "What? What do you mean? Like, how did Chadwick Boseman die?" So it's sad to see him go. Of course, we hope the best for his family, his friends and family. We know they've been with him through this, and that's going to be interesting for Marvel. So what do you think they're going to do with Black Panther now?
I know what they're going to do. Honestly, my personal preference is for them to just leave it. Like, I feel like don't do another one. I mean, obviously they will, and I'm sure they have a plan. Like, I'm sure they knew that he was sick, so I'm sure they have a plan in place. I mean, you could either replace him with his sister or M'Baku, but my personal preference is just to leave it alone and don't do another one.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to leave Black Panther. There's a lot tied to Black Panther, and I feel like they really want to use it. I mean, they do have the option of replacing the actor. I don't think they'll do that.
No, I don't see them doing that.
I didn't hear anyone mention M'Baku until you just did.
I mean, those are your only two options, right? I mean, I don't know, how it ties in comic book wise, but that could be a person that replaces them, right?
Yeah, well,
in the comic book, I think only other person that had the Black Panther suit was his sister.
Okay. Yeah, Shuri is the only other Black Panther. M'Baku is a villain in the comics.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, let's see.
Man Ape, I believe.
Yeah, which they opted not to use for the movie.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know he was a villain. I'm not interested in a Shuri as Black Panther movie.
I know. I was saying that I like her as an actress, and I like her in the movies. I can't see her being Black Panther. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at too. Even a movie that's focused on her, fine, but not her as Black Panther. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Wow. We'll see what they have in mind. I'm not sure. Maybe they will just move on. We never know.
I mean, they could. I mean, I know we had a lot of speculations about how you add people like Storm and Submariner. Said, oh, you can add it into a Black Panther film. So there definitely was a lot of potential for the next 2 movies in the series, but I feel like they're also at a point where they could just not continue it either.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned a good point earlier on. The studio probably did know.
Yeah.
Because he would have had to have taken time for the doctor visits and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So they already
Well, I like the
announced
fact that they still respected the family's wishes, though.
Yeah. They already announced Black Panther 2, right?
Yeah.
That was
Yes,
already
they did.
on the slate.
Yeah.
So they probably did have a contingency plan. So there's probably a plan. Otherwise, I don't think they would have announced it.
Well, there's also a chance they didn't think, they could have thought his treatments. You figure he would have been going through treatments and stuff while he was filming Black Panther, while he was filming Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance where, I mean, we've seen people with cancer where it's like, oh, everything's going good until it's not anymore.
Right. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Marvel got pushed back anyway because of 2020. So I guess that gives them more time to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So we'll
they
see.
probably didn't even start filming for the movie yet either.
Nothing was going on with this movie yet. Probably script writing, but that's about it. But okay. So move on to, I guess, not happier news, but less sad news.
Okay.
Tenet and drive-ins. I wanted to talk about this for a second. And just movies and drive-ins, period. So apparently, what studio's making Tenet? Is it Warner Brothers?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that is a Warner movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently they set out the precedent for this movie that it cannot play in a drive-in if the indoor theaters around it is not open.
Or is it if the indoor is open?
No.
Like if they're not open.
If they're not open, it can't play at a drive-in.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't
So then-
make sense, does it?
So then you saying that city wouldn't get the movie at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if you were planning on going to see this movie at a drive-in, like 3D Rivals was planning.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Our theaters are open, so then we can see it.
I wonder what the mileage limit is.
But, okay. Isn't the theater statewide or city by city?
It must be
thought
area.
it was
It's in
just
the area.
I thought it was just AMC theaters that are opening. I don't think it's every one.
I think everything's open.
I'm not
Our
sure.
governor said everything could open. I'm gonna look it up.
They might have dialed that back because our cases were going up.
I was going to say, I think for our state, it's just AMC.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. With that being said,
each state in each area is different. So
yeah. Well, my thing is, with that being said, it's kind of annoying. Like, what's the reason for this? So, like, if people can't go into a theater and see it, you just don't want anyone to see it. Like, wouldn't you want to squeeze as much money out of it as possible? So, like, hey, if the theaters are closed, at least they can go to a drive-in and see our movie and we make money that way. But now they just don't want anyone to see it. I get, like, that's so weird. It's such a dumb rule, and our drive-in's not playing it. So any of them in our area, I've checked an hour away from us and still, and
Yeah.
it's weird.
I read an article about that when it first came out about what Tenet was doing, and like reading the article, to me, all I heard was yada 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 money, and and to me, it doesn't make any sense. If there's an avenue for people to see this movie, why not give them that avenue to see the movie?
Yeah.
And I don't know, and I'm just like, I don't want to sit in. First of all, movie theaters were disgusting before this.
Yes.
And look, I know what I'm going to be doing, but I don't trust everyone around me to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Especially, you mean to tell me people aren't going to get popcorn and candy and stuff? You can't eat that with your mask on.
Right.
Well, it's just like a rule when you go to restaurants. You have to wear your mask to get in, but when you sit down at the table, you take your mask off to eat.
And I don't go to restaurants.
Right.
Okay. Our movie theaters are open.
Okay. So I wonder if, because none of the drive-ins are close to us, so I'm wondering if it's a defined area around movie theaters.
Maybe.
That sucks.
Or I don't know. Are you sure? Let me look it up. I read it, but
Yeah, I mean, we can check the drive-ins, but yeah, that's what it said. If it's not playing in an indoor theater, you can't watch it in an outdoor theater.
so then that you say in that city.
Yeah, I don't know. So weird.
Hold on. I don't think you read that right. But I mean, yeah. Either way, there is a restriction on drive-ins.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it. Let's do
And
our.
either way, it's not being shown
No, I'm
in the
reading
drive-through.
You're right.
drive-ins in our.
Says Tenet will not play at drive-ins where movie theaters aren't open. So that city. So we should get it though. We should get it because our theaters are open.
It also says select drive-in theaters. I don't know. It seems like at a time like this, you would want it to play as many. Like you want it to be wide-reaching, right?
Right, unless they have a on-demand gonna come out in a month. Otherwise, you don't make your money back. And this movie is super expensive.
Yeah.
And if there's still theaters that's not open,
So I wonder if the
think-
move is to try and get as many people to go to the like people are they banking on people wanting to see this movie so bad that they're gonna go to the theater regardless? Like they'll
nothing I want
risk
to see
it.
that bad.
No,
Literally nothing.
even if this was Avengers Endgame, I would wait till it comes out on DVD. Like to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not risking my health. for
I
that.
mean, we could just not be select drive-ins because we do live in a crappy state, so
Okay.
they might not select our drive-in. Because really, every time there was like special drive-in stuff, they have not been at our drive-ins.
That's true. Yeah, New Mutants wasn't at our drive-in either. So even if we wanted to go watch that movie, which the review says isn't good, but even if we wanted to, we
Oh, the
couldn't.
reviews killed that movie.
Yeah,
Which is
Murdered it. They said it's worse than Dark Phoenix.
which is surprising. Oh my gosh.
I was actually surprised by how bad they said New Mutants was. I don't know. I guess I kind of had a hope because it was so different.
Yeah,
That it would,
yeah, you would think. So, I don't know what that's going to mean for theaters in the future because I don't foresee this going well. I don't get, and not to be on a serious topic forever on the podcast. I know we're listed as a comedy, but
are we?
yeah, we are. I don't get how we had to close the theaters when there were, a few thousand cases, and now there are millions of cases and hundreds of thousands dead, and now we're
Let's
like, no,
open
it's
up.
okay. Yeah, like no, it's safe to go into a theater. More people are sick, but it's definitely safer than it was in April. Like I don't understand the thinking on that.
There is some logic issues, but I don't know. People are just, I guess they're tired, so they just rather I
On
don't know.
demand. Like forget okay, AMC might be angry at you, but if people aren't going to go see your movie, and you're not going to make all your money overseas. There are big markets overseas and you can make some money, but you need the American market, right?
But here's my question: how bad do they need AMC? If AMC throws a fit and says we won't show your movie anymore, fine. Then show it at Cinemark and Atlas and whatever else, and then I'm saying that they should give people every avenue possible. So that way, if I want to go to the theater, I can. If I want to go to the drive-in, I can. If I want to on-demand it 4 weeks after the fact, I can. Who cares about AMC? We don't need you.
Yeah, but I think AMC is the biggest theater chain that there is.
But I'm saying,
My thing
does
is,
Warner Brothers need AMC?
no, if they I guarantee you, if they release this on Hulu for paid, let's say $29, like when Mulan is, right?
Right.
If they released it on Hulu, $29 paid for you to watch the movie, they would make money.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, forget AMC and them throwing their weight around. You ain't got no weight. Go somewhere. Like, I feel like studios don't need you.
No.
And if everyone to follow that game, like, all right, then fine. We can just, hey, people can sit on their couches, watch their own TV, eat their own food, and be cool.
I'm going to tell you, Tenet is going to be a good testament on whether or not people are willing to go to theaters. Like,
They are, because Tenet will make money. All right, so this weekend, New Mutants made $8 million. But that's not a good thing because we all knew that was going to be trash anyways,
yeah,
right?
we can't go by that. Tenet is...
So, Tenet is going to make money next weekend. That is without a doubt.
But how
I don't
much?
think-
Because it's an expensive movie, right? This needs to be close to $1 billion movie.
This weekend?
No, not this weekend. But you know what I mean.
I said they make $50 million this weekend.
That's not a lot.
Overall,
I think that's a lot for where we live in right now. It is. They're not gonna make normal
it's not worth it
blockbuster.
for. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be worth it for the studio. At the end of the day, whether in a pandemic or not, the studio needs to make that money back.
Which is why the studio should allow every avenue possible.
Yeah, exactly. So if they're forcing the theater thing and they only make 50 million, that weekend, it's still not good. It may be good it's good for the situation, but for the movie as a whole, it's still not good.
This is going to get released on demand fast. It has to. Because first of all theaters in the U.S. is not open. They're only operating at like half capacity.
True, yeah, because the ones that are open cannot fill up, right?
You're right. So I
right
don't know.
now,
Unless they do an
Same social
extended
distance.
where it stays in the theaters for longer than normal.
And then are the theaters aren't extending their hours, are they? Do they have cut hours at the theater? They probably do for cleaning.
It doesn't seem
I
like
was
it.
going to say they probably do.
Looking at the times on Fandango, it doesn't look like they do.
Okay. Either way, that's still half the money.
Yeah.
If they're at 50% capacity, and I don't think 50% capacity is enough social distancing. Because every other chair is in 6 feet.
No, so I mean, yeah, you have to put 2 to 3 spaces in it. So I don't know. I mean, it does look like there's a ton of movie times in our local theaters, so maybe that won't be an issue.
We'll see what happens. I want to follow this and see how much money Tenet makes, and see if it's worth it. Because this could turn the tide. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but we've been talking about it personally on what's going to happen, like with the future of movie theaters after this pandemic. Because the pandemic kind of sped up the death of movie theaters.
Right.
And they're hurting right now, which is why they want to open. The studios don't actually need the theaters. It's kind of the other way around. So I want to see what happens here, because I think this is our first test to it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I feel like this is a bad move on Warner Brothers' part. Your movie is so expensive. I don't know why you would limit people being able to see it. With that said, I mean, I know we live in a crappy city/state.
It's still a major
should be
city.
We should be, major in quotation marks, we should still be able to get it because our theaters are open. So they should be playing at our local drive-in.
Yeah. We'll check it out. One last thing on that. I think it's interesting the different takes they're doing. So Warner Brothers is forcing Tenet out in theaters. I'm guessing they're thinking this is the best way for them to make the money. And Disney went the other route. And they're saying it's only for Mulan, but you know it's a test. And they're releasing Mulan on their streaming service.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which I think would have been very well if it wasn't so expensive.
Yeah. But, I mean, Mulan was another blockbuster. Not as big as Tenet, obviously, but it's a Disney remake. People are going to go watch it. Plus, Mulan is beloved by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Besides, their last two made $1 billion, didn't it?
Yeah, even though they weren't good, though. So maybe, but people could be tired, though. Like, the last two was trash. What makes this one even less trashier?
Well, the way the ones before the last two good, we still went to go see it.
Yeah, but I just feel like, I mean,
Yeah.
but see, here's the thing. I have no desire to see Mulan because I know it's going to be bad.
Well, after they came out and told us there won't be any singing, yeah, excuse me. It's a Disney movie.
And no Mushu.
Yeah. Again, Eddie Murphy's alive. I'm sorry.
Very true.
How do you not get Mushu? Or Ming Na Wei, excuse me.
Yeah, there were some huge misses on this.
I don't know what they doing.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. But I guess it's a good take to see how the two, they're both coming out about the same time. See how they stack up against each other.
You think Disney going to release those numbers, though? I doubt it.
No, they're not. No, they're not. We might get how many downloads they got.
Only if they do well. It's still too expensive. I think Disney shot themselves in the foot with how expensive
With the
it is.
29. They should have kept it at the $19.99 like Trolls did.
Yes. $19.99 was where I could almost justify, like, okay, fine.
But if you only do family movies, I don't think the $29.99 is going to hurt them.
Yeah, but if I got a family, I don't want to spend $30 on y'all.
You would already spend, if we were going to the theater, if I was taking my family to see Mulan in the theater, that it's $30 base because there's 3 of us going, right? The baby's not going, sorry. So that's $30 already. And
no,
then
your kid doesn't cost $10.
Fine. Almost $30. What?
See? You're not
No,
getting
and then
away with
movies
that.
be more than $10, depending on when you go.
Why is your movies costing you more than $10? See, you want to be seeing the XD one, man. Forget all that.
No,
See the
sometimes it's
basic.
the only screen available.
Nah.
And then you get food and stuff. It's like a $70 trip, $60,
Why are
$70
you eating
trip.
at the movie theater?
You always eat at the movie theater.
You do not. I don't
It's
eat
a
nothing
thing.
at the movie
It's a
theater.
thing that
Yeah.
people do. That's why they
Too
sell
much money.
food.
See, the problem is y'all spend too much money.
No, it's just you. Everyone else does too. That's why they have
Yeah,
it.
it's only you. It's just you.
It's
You're
just
the weird
you.
one.
So therefore, I don't think they're going to lose that much when it's $29.99. I think people are like, man, that's high because they're not used to it. But when you compare it to what you would spend in the theater, it's cheaper.
The problem is you're spending too much money at the theater. That's ridiculous. You
It
don't
doesn't
need
matter if
snacks.
we are. People are. Yes, it could be too much money. We agree. It's too much money spent at the theater. But people are already
Yeah.
doing it. So it's not the point that it's too much.
Maybe they shouldn't be doing it. Let's talk about this.
All right. Delinda's going to go on
But
a
it's already
campaign.
done. It is already done.
You know what? For a country with no money, we sure do waste a lot of money.
Yes.
Like, what is this?
That's not new news. Anyway, you're going to go on a campaign to stop people from spending so much money at the movie theaters.
Shouldn't we? What, I mean, why are we buying snacks and popcorn and juice? You don't need none of that. Just go in there. You wasn't hungry when you went in there. You fine.
Do it. Start a
Get you salad
hashtag.
before you leave.
Hashtag no snacks.
Yeah, you don't need no snacks. Y'all laughing, but this is real talk. I don't buy no snacks when I'm at the theater. That's a waste of money.
It's part of the experience.
No.
And then you said no snacks, and I'm taking a child.
Better get up, boy, some cookies in the car and call it a day. You don't need no snacks.
All right. You got snacks when you were a kid.
Did we?
Right.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we
My father's
did.
cheap.
Dad
We
always
did.
always bought us popcorn and
Popcorn
pop
and stuff.
at the
Yeah.
movies.
I don't remember.
Well, you
this.
did when you went to the theater by yourself. I didn't either because we were cheap. It's different when you're paying for other people.
I gotta disagree, guys, but okay, whatever.
All right. Well, I want to talk about some more Warner Brothers stuff here. The Flash movie. I think we mentioned it last week. It's been confirmed that Ben Affleck will be returning as Batman in the Flash movie. I don't know if we mentioned it before, but Michael Keaton is also returning as Batman in the Flash movie. So this kind of solidifies some of our theories. It's still just a theory, but it looks like the Flash movie is definitely going to be used to solidify Warner Brothers movie slate, probably, and bringing because it is Flashpoint, we know that much, but that means this new Batman could be brought into the DC movie universe because of Flash.
But is he in this Flash movie?
Not clear at the moment. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be in it for it to do it.
Batman's are in Flashpoint, or is that what it's called?
We don't know the name yet. I think it's just the Flash, but
Okay, well, comic book, right? How many Batmans is in that?
I don't know, a bunch.
It's
Really?
multiple universes.
They're all
Yeah,
Batmans?
I think.
It's mul-
But didn't they only really show one in the comic book? Even though it changed the Batman after it. Like after Flashpoint, it was a different Batman.
Yeah.
I'm asking you guys because I don't know.
No, I'm saying after Flashpoint, it was a different Batman.
No, it was the yeah. After it was said and done, everyone's storyline changed in DC.
Basically started over.
Okay. So, is there a way to connect all of this new Batman movie, plus with all the old Batmans? Especially
Yeah.
since Ben Affleck is
Yeah.
going to be in it.
Because what you would do is you want to take the good elements. So you take the new Batman movie, you take the current Wonder Woman, the current Aquaman, and then you're saying, oh, the old Superman and the old Batman, they didn't make it into this new universe that was created because of Flashpoint.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's a mixing of all the universes. Some make it, some don't. But at the end of the day, now it's only one universe.
Okay. So I guess they need to fix something if they're still doing this combined universe thing.
Yeah. And
Okay,
I feel like that's what they're going to do, because we were saying last week, it's weird to have, like, we're fine with standalone movies, but it's weird for you to have a standalone movie adjacent to a connected universe. It's like, it's weird to have those two. It's like if Marvel came out with Captain America, but this isn't part of the MCU Captain America movies. You know, like, what?
Well, especially because there's two Batmans now.
Yeah.
So that's there's two Batmans, and now there's a Joker, which I guess is not connected to the Batman movie,
Yeah.
even though it looks like Joker exists in that universe.
It does. Maybe?
So,
I don't know. So, but it's a good way for them to start over. Plus, starts telling standalone stories. Like, Wonder Woman's movie was very much a standalone story, so was Aquaman's. This Batman is going to be a standalone story. So they can kind of start their universe off right. The right way, without trying to force a teamed movie.
You mean 5 years later they're gonna do it right?
Yeah, because maybe they learned their lesson.
If they don't.
Or like 20 years later.
So, I mean, it's still speculation at this point, but the fact that you have two Batman, plus I think the guy who played Thomas Wayne in The Joker is in the movie too.
Is he?
I think so. And
Okay, so
the Batman in Flashpoint, there was a Batman in Flashpoint, I forgot. The Batman in Flashpoint is Thomas Wayne because Bruce died instead of him. And he's kind of like, he doesn't have a no-kill rule, which they kind of ruined because the Batman we got didn't have a no-kill rule, but, you know, whatever.
okay.
So, yeah.
This comic book confuses me.
Okay. Watch the cartoon movie. I think it's kind of the same.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because...
you would better understand it if you would watch the cartoon movie.
Okay.
It might be on Netflix.
Yeah. Maybe we'll review it. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah. I check to see if it's on the Netflix right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember Thomas Wayne is Batman in the messed up universe he created. Then he goes back and tries to change it to exactly the same, and it doesn't work. That's why you get the new universe out of it. But in the messed up universe, like, the Amazons take over the UK, Atlantis takes over Europe or something, and they're at war with the Amazons. Thomas Wayne is the survivor, so he becomes Batman, and Bruce's mother becomes the Joker. It's like some crazy stuff.
What?
Yeah.
This is some nonsense. They can put all of this into one movie?
I'm not saying that's going to be in this movie. I'm saying that was Flashpoint in the comics.
Oh, that sounds real messy.
If you do it right, it can be fine. They already did it on the CW. They didn't do Flashpoint was all right in the CW.
Yeah,
And
it
they had
was.
all of these things with Aquaman and the...
No,
Whatever
because they
else
didn't
you
have the
said?
rights to Aquaman. They used the characters they had.
Oh, okay.
I forgot. It really didn't change the other shows except for somebody who had a daughter now had a son or something like that. But they still did. Okay. And people who didn't have powers had powers now. Like, you can do stuff like that and just mix it up.
Oh, okay.
It might give them a clean slate. That's all I'm saying.
No, I guess, I don't know. This just sounds... There's a lot going on, so...
Yeah. We'll see. See what happens. Continue with Warner Brothers, because it seems like it's all the news I had. Suicide Squad. So, this is a rumor, I guess, but it's kind of... You can kind of see it in the trailer that had come out for it. It seems like the villain is going to be Starro. And if you don't know what that is, if you remember that Batman Beyond, or was that a Justice League episode? Don't remember. No, it was Batman Beyond. When he goes into... No, he's already in the future. When he meets the Justice League, and then Superman is bad because he got that starfish on his face.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that is Starro. Apparently, you can spot it for a split second. Some people that were knocked out had like starfishes on their face. And now it kind of makes more sense. If they're going to be fighting the Justice League, it might be because they're being controlled by Starro.
Okay. Well, didn't we say that last week that, like, if they're fighting Justice League, then Justice League has to be bad for a reason?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And now it makes it more likely that they can win because you don't have to beat Superman. You just have to get the starfish off his face.
Right.
So I think that's better. And it actually sounds like a better movie now that it seems like that's the villain.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah. And then it would make sense on why they would get the Suicide Squad back together for that very reason.
Yeah, because all your heroes are being controlled by crazy starfish aliens.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel a little bit better about that. Not because I really liked that episode. And, was it Justice League?
Batman
Was it
Beyond.
Batman Beyond?
It was Batman Beyond. I remember now. It was
Batman Beyond episode.
It was a 2-part
Yeah,
series.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because the only episode in Justice League that had Batman Beyond in it was the one where they said Terry McGinnis was a Bruce Wayne clone.
Right. That was... Yeah, okay.
That was the finale, really.
Yeah, that was the finale of Justice League.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. But I like it, though.
I do. It makes sense why
I
he's
do.
Batman now.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad. Now we're going to be dealing with crazy mind controlling alien things, you know?
Cool. I like it.
Yeah. And if you, for some reason, had been controlled by a crazy mind controlling alien and all of a sudden wants to start a podcast, you can. And if you want, you can use Buzzsprout. That's what we use. And Buzzsprout is the easiest and best way to launch and promote and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed with all major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of your recording. And I can say that is definitely true. So if you're looking to start a podcast because of your crazy mind-controlling alien thing, check out our affiliate link below where you can sign up for Buzzsprout yourself. With that being said, we'll go ahead and talk about our main topic, which is Jurassic Park.
Yay. I love
Yay.
this movie.
Yes, I know. Jurassic Park is so great. We watched it yesterday, and while we were watching it, we were nitpicking the movie, but like I was still enjoying it, like all the way.
Yes.
It's a great movie.
I mean, I nitpick it because I'm like, seriously, what? And maybe not the movie itself, but the concept of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. But it's not unrealistic because I think people really are as stupid as Hammond and would try something like this.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
I mean, like,
They doing it now as we speak.
Oh, yeah, someone's trying it, and then it's just like, oh, DNA don't last 65 million years? Darn.
No.
But if it did, they'd be all up on that.
I don't think DNA lasts a day in a mosquito. Like, come on.
I would say at least, I mean, like, okay, that would never happen. But at least it's like, oh, it seems like it could happen, so I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, well, that's all you need to do in a movie, right? You need to make it seem plausible.
Yeah.
You know, which I think they do.
Yeah, like Ocean's 11. Never get away with it, but since it seems like it could be done, I like it.
That's absolutely right. So, yeah, I can watch this movie anytime. I probably could watch it again, if I wanted to. Like, it's excellent movie. So, I don't know. I think the actors in the movie all did well.
Great acting choices.
Well, Steven Spielberg said like he didn't want big movie stars because he felt like they would take away from the movie, but to have actors in it because it's like most of what he do with the movie is like about how you're seeing the scene, and so you don't want to be looking like I don't know who's famous in 1990. I really don't know. But let's say if it was like Tom Cruise or something, Tom Cruise would distract you from everything else that's going on in the movie.
Yeah, true. Oh, could you imagine Tom Cruise?
Oh no! Why would you? Who would he be?
He'd be doing that stupid run from the T-Rex.
In Malcolm, I guess.
Not at all. Jeff Goldblum is just the perfect. Everyone in the movie was the perfect choice for this.
Yeah. Yep. Boy Samuel.
He probably could have been played by someone else, but everyone else was perfect.
Yeah. Then I think we'll probably talk about this a little later too. The use of practical effects.
Yes.
It turned out excellent, and that's why this movie stands up. Like even in 2020, like a lot of it, you know, there's some CGI, which I think where they used it, they probably needed to. But a lot of the dinosaurs and stuff, it still looks really good because it was an actual live action thing, which, you know, movies need to continue to do that as much as you can. Only use CGI when you need to.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, that's right. That exactly, because especially when at that time where the technology wasn't there, and even when making this movie, they were like discovering a lot of new technology stuff. And so it's just the fact that they built, you know, what they could build. I mean, and I even think about this at the time, like, but they built a life-size T-Rex. And I feel like today, no one will bother to do that.
Right.
But I feel like for this movie,
it would have been all CGI.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it helps this movie so much because you have a movie that lasts for 25 years or whatever because they have like the perfect mixture of CGI and practical effects.
Right.
And just even then, I think Spielberg, what he does so well is just cinematography. Like the way he shot things is just like when you see the T-Rex, you're in the car with the kids.
Right.
It's just you're experiencing it as they are experiencing it. I think that's fantastic.
Absolutely. Like you really feel it. Like you can really feel it. Even just the little effects, which I know they overuse now, but first time I saw it when I was a kid, just the T-Rex approaching you see the water shaking, you know.
Yeah, it was like that anticipation, which he also did really good in Jaws, where it's like you know something is coming, but you can't see it yet. And I think that because you figured at that point in the movie, you really hadn't seen too many dinosaurs. I don't think you really seen any outside of the is that a Triceratops or a Stegosaurus? Whatever, a dinosaur. But you know, it was like laying down, not doing anything. So you know, okay, all right, this movie, people are going to get attacked by dinosaurs, but you haven't seen it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like you have the noise, you have the ripple effects, and you're like, oh, you know, it's coming. And I think it's just done perfectly.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was done perfectly. Scenery looks great, like choosing to put it on an island and stuff. Although Lost World putting it in the city, that was still pretty good. But you know, just I think, you know, Spielberg knocked it out of the park with it.
Oh, absolutely. He knows how to direct a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
true.
does.
And then you figure at
Yeah,
this time he was also doing Schindler's List, which is two very different movies.
Yeah. Was he doing? He was doing Schindler's List at the same time.
Yeah, well, this was like wrapping up. So like this was in post production while he was filming Schindler's List.
Oh, okay.
And then there was like a lot of back because I think they filmed Schindler's List in Paris or not Paris, France or something like that. And you know, the internet wasn't a huge thing, so it's kind of hard to to do it from far away.
Okay, I feel that. I feel that. Well, yeah. I don't know, like, what else to say about it. Huh?
And like besides how great it is,
Yeah,
and it's still the best Jurassic Park movie after all of this time.
yeah. Out of the 5 that we have,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
still the best.
it's still the best.
And like
It's
even
still
though
the best.
Jurassic World was good, I was like kind of disappointed that it wasn't as good as the first one because you figured, okay, in 2015 we have all the technology, we have all of this, and it just did not capture that.
It did, and that was
more so of the story of Jurassic World that kind of made it worse than Jurassic Park.
what, like, because they created a dinosaur.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I
think
see.
that took away from-
I can kind of see why they went that route, and they kind of mentioned in the movie, you know, I don't know what else you're gonna do. Like, why would anyone go back to this island and be attacked by, you know, dinosaurs? And in the movie, it was because, you know, like, okay, after a while, things get normalized, right? Okay, yeah, there's a T-Rex there. I've seen it, type of deal. And that is kind of the society we live in. So I get it in the context of that movie. I agree with Delinda in that, like, they just didn't capture the awe, I guess you should say, of the first movie.
Yeah, that's the word for it.
Yeah. But I like Jurassic World. And
But
that was what, the third movie in the franchise? It was Jurassic Park, Lost World, and then Jurassic World, right?
No, you forgot. Are we just gonna cut out Jurassic Park 3?
What? There
Jurassic Park.
wasn't a Jurassic Park 3. That definitely didn't exist.
Okay.
Talk about a stupid story. Oh, God. Okay. And there definitely wasn't a 5th movie in the franchise. That doesn't exist either.
No, you want to talk about skipping a movie?
Oh,
You can go ahead and
Whew.
skip that.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is still the best movie in the franchise. And I don't think they're going to beat it.
Why not? Because it's the story that kind of captures it. It's just, and then also I think there's also something about seeing a movie when you're young,
True.
and it just kind of like sits with you. So I think Jurassic Park also has that benefit too.
Yeah, apparently,
Yeah, we were really young when it came out.
Right.
I definitely didn't see it when it first came out. Because I was
I
in
saw
3.
it when it
You
got
couldn't even watch
released on.
Twister.
I saw Twister in the theaters. I don't know about y'all.
I'm talking about Darren. He couldn't even
Oh,
watch
no.
Twister. So you know they wasn't going to let him watch Jurassic Park.
Well, I did watch Jurassic Park, and it scared me, but I didn't mention to anybody that it scared me, because it was an awesome
I
movie.
saw Jurassic Park, but it was not with our family. Because they probably would have been like, no.
Yeah, but yeah, I was 3 when Jurassic Park came out, which I'm surprised it's that old. 93? I was like, I thought it came out before then. It doesn't
Because it
seem like a
holds up so
93
well.
movie. Yeah,
It does. It
not
does.
before then, after that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you told me 97, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, excellent movie. So Delinda, did you pick up some extra stuff on Jurassic Park?
I have so much stuff. Okay, let's start with casting. There's not a whole lot, but some I found interesting.
Okay.
Harrison Ford turned down the role of Alan Grant. I'm fine with that. I think he would have played it well, but it would have been too similar to
Indiana Jones.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking, yeah, Harrison Ford would be okay in that role.
Yeah, he said he didn't think the role was right for him, and he still agrees with that decision. I mean, it's not like he hurting for money, so.
True.
Right. I mean, the guy's been in, what, 3 major franchises?
Yeah.
Is it 3 or 2? Whatever. Doesn't matter. He got that paper, so he's okay. Sean Connery turned on the role for John Hammond. I can see that also.
That would have worked.
That would have worked.
I don't know. Can he be as eccentric as the actor we got?
He's always kind of serious. But then maybe he'd be more...
He has like dry humor, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Hammond fits better with this eccentric guy, oblivious to everything, you know. I don't know,
But
Sean Connery.
if Sean Connery, maybe we get the Hammond from the novel.
Yeah.
Because the Hammond from the novel is kind of like a crazy Walt Disney. Like, just, I don't care.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like it. I mean, obviously, Richard Attenborough did great. And I think that was his first movie he'd been in 14 years. So,
Really?
they brought the boy out of retirement for it.
Interesting.
Wow. I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that would have been a good choice. But I like who we got as Hammond. All right. So, people who screen tested but not get the role of Ellie Sattler: Sandra Bullock, Gwyneth Paltrow, Julianne Moore, who ended up being in Lost World, Helen Hunt, and Terry Hatcher.
Those are some interesting choices.
It's interesting. Because at this time, Gwyneth Paltrow would have been the most famous one, maybe? No, she wasn't.
No, she wasn't famous at that point.
She wasn't famous. Because I was thinking of her in The Talented Mr. Ripley, but that was 96, I think.
Okay. I think she would have worked. I think...
Can you see her
Sandra
as a
Bullock.
paleontologist?
I don't know. Can you see her as anything? I mean, she's a good actress, though. I think Sandra Bullock would have worked.
I think Sandra Bullock would have worked. Maybe. But see, I mean, I don't know. I picture Sandra Bullock and I picture like her and other stuff, and then I'm like, I can see it. I'm not mad at that. And they offer the role to Robin Wright. And if you're wondering who that is, she is, and she's in House of Cards, right? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I can see that also.
Yeah. These weren't bad choices.
No, not at all. Except for Terry Hatcher, I don't know about that. I'm not a fan.
I don't know about that. But she was starting to be famous at that time, though.
Really?
Was he?
They're doing what?
Yeah. I don't know. She was like in small stuff, and then the New Adventures of Lois and Clark came out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Wasn't that in like 96 or 95?
That was like 95, 96.
Yeah.
And then she did Tomorrow Never Dies. And then she was in Desperate Housewives, right?
Doom. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now, this is the only one where I'm just like, absolutely no. Apparently, Jim Carrey was considered for Anne Malcolm.
No.
I hope that's like an internet lie.
No.
And that's not true.
No. Is this serious? See, you got to look at Jim Carrey two different ways. So, like, is this serious enough of a role where he will be serious Jim Carrey? or would we just get Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey.
See, that's what I'm saying. And at that time, we didn't have a serious Jim Carrey. Was he coming off of In Living Color?
Probably.
I want to say yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're getting him, it better be a very serious role or a very silly role. Don't be giving me anything in between, because then he's gonna go very silly and it's not gonna fit.
Yeah, so I don't see it.
It would not fit at all. It wouldn't have fit at all.
No. And like, I like Jim Carrey, but nah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like that's a horrible choice. But yeah, so that was the last thing I have for casting. I think they got the perfect cast. Some of these people they mentioned is not bad, but I think who they have is a lot better.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Casting, what we got was what we needed. It's good casting.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready for random movie facts?
Yes, indeedy.
Yes.
All right, random movie facts. Okay, I'm sorry, I was like typing while I was trying to think. Okay, so this at the time broke box office records with a $47 million opening, which is $82 million for our time, if you guys were wondering.
That's pretty good, I would say, for a movie like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It made just over $1 billion.
Wait, hold on. Let's stop for a second. Inflation from 20 years ago.
Yes.
Or is that 20 years ago? Oh, I guess it's more than 20. Inflation from 27 years ago is doubled?
Apparently, yes. A little less than double.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah. All right. It made just over $1 billion worldwide, and at the time, it held the record for the highest grossing film until Titanic came out in 1997. Yeah.
Wait, it made $1 billion in 93?
That's what the internet said.
Adjusted for inflation or just $1 billion?
No. That's before inflation.
Yo, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Killing. Well, the one guy said, like, he,
It
after
was
it
the
comes out.
highest grossing movie. Yeah, because when Titanic came out, that's what they were talking about. Like, Titanic was breaking all the Jurassic Park records.
And
Yes.
it's not as good of a movie.
I was going to say, like, who can sit and watch? It's a 3-hour movie, and the action don't happen to the end.
And yeah, I was going to say, and it's boring. Look, if you're a Titanic lover out there, I'm sorry.
Going back to see Titanic. Like, people watched it and then went back and watched it again.
I'm pretty sure the acting was good in Titanic, but it was boring.
It was boring.
It's a boring movie.
Yeah.
We were also kids, too, as well.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. What's a Titanic-esque movie that I would go see today? I don't think there's one.
A 3-hour romance film? Because that's basically what it is.
Yeah, nah, see, nope.
And then you know how it ends.
Yeah, they die. And then you could be angry because she threw them in the ocean.
Like, I'll never let go, Jack, but you showed up, left
I
the
don't
dude in the
care.
ocean, though.
I don't care. That door, both of them could fit on there.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
enough room for them on that door.
Yeah, it was enough. It was enough room. You just let my dude die.
Doors are like, what, 6 feet, 7 inches? There's enough room for 2 people.
Maybe they were saying it would sink if both of them were on there.
Man, bye. Balance it out. One person on one end, one person on the other end. It's not like one of them was, hefty and the other one wasn't.
Yeah.
They, like, weighed the same.
I'll be so angry.
Yeah.
That
Jack
sucked.
did all of that. And then she just let him die. Horrible. Spoiler for Titanic if you ain't
Oh,
seen
yeah,
it.
yeah. In case you haven't seen Titanic, they die and the boat sinks.
Yeah, the boat sinks.
I'm thinking about an iceberg being the villain.
Right?
Is the iceberg the villain or is the dumb captain the villain?
Well, no, her boyfriend or fiance is the villain.
Oh,
Yeah.
That guy who's like pushing women out the way.
Jurassic Park / our review of Titanic.
That would have definitely been me.
Hi, Dan.
What's up?
That would have been you pushing people out of the way?
Yep. Like,
Wait,
I don't
does she
know
wanna
you.
be better than that?
Huh?
Oh,
Gone. I don't know you. I don't know you. Get
that's
out my
cool.
way.
No, that's
Cool.
cool. Remind me not to be on a
Right?
boat
You're gonna
with
be
you in the
nowhere
Arctic.
with Dan.
Yeah.
Well, Darren, you're not women or children. So
Okay. That's worse. That's worse though. It's not better.
I gotta be like, get out my way, get out my way, get out my way. Then I get to you, I'm like, man, I gotta wait for this guy.
Okay. All right. What was your other movie facts?
Okay, so back to money. Steven Spielberg made $250 million off of this movie,
Fair enough.
which I don't know if it's still, but it was the highest sum anyone has ever made off of a movie.
What do you do after
That's
that?
insane.
Can someone, like, you hear all these people getting all these millions and stuff? Can someone give me $200,000? Just, it won't even hurt you. You got $250 million off of a movie that came out in '93. $200,000. I'll be good. That's all I need.
Dude, I was just like 250 off of one movie?
Sheesh.
Like,
That's a lot.
But well deserved. It was a
That
good
is
movie.
lot.
He
I
did a
mean,
good job.
he did a great job, but I'm just like, dude, if I was him, I'd be like, I'm done. Like, this dude got paid for days for this.
On the movies he made since then, though, so he's still racking them up.
That's what I'm saying. Dude is racking in that paper, but
Agreed.
did he do Indiana Jones?
Yeah, that was Spielberg. Or was that Spielberg? That was Spielberg. Yeah.
Yeah, so this dude's cool. He ain't hurting for nothing. Yeah, but anyways, dude
And
made
Jaws,
paper.
right?
And Jaws.
Yeah, and Jaws.
Did he win an Oscar for Schindler's List? I felt like he did.
Yeah.
Or did he just get nominated?
I want to say yes.
Wow.
That was
well,
good.
that's
Yeah, so anyways, yeah, he made out. Yeah, so apparently, Universal paid Michael Crichton. If you didn't know, he's the author of the Jurassic Park book that came out in 1990. They paid him $2 million for the rights to the book before the book was even published.
what?
They believed that the book would be such a hit that it would make for an outstanding movie, so they bought the rights before that.
Did they read the book before it was published?
It wasn't finished.
That's some real faith.
that's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a real faith.
I don't got that much faith in no book.
Yeah, and this came out in 1990, so they like bought the rights and like started making this movie.
Well, I guess, back in 1990, books were kind of everything. Nowadays, it's like, it's different. But
Yeah, people should
90s,
read more.
Well, it was also Tom Clancy, though. He writes
It was
good
not.
books.
It was
Tom
Michael
Clancy.
Crichton. What are you
Michael
talking about?
Crichton.
Oh,
Tom Clancy is a different series.
my bad.
Tom Clancy.
You're right.
that was so random.
I mean, maybe they're like the concept, because even if you get the rights to it, they can change the story drastically in a movie. So maybe they're like, oh, the concept of opening a park with real dinosaurs, that is good for a movie. And I kind of get them on that.
But Michael Crichton was heavily involved, so they weren't about to change this up too much, even though they changed a lot. But it still, I guess, holds the essence of
Yeah, it does.
Michael Crichton believed that they only kept about 20% of the book. I say that's about a fair estimate. There's a lot in the book that's not in the movies.
Yeah. The book is really
I
good.
believe it.
If you haven't read it, read Jurassic Park. It's good.
Yeah, I
Very
definitely.
good book. Very good book.
I will try.
You should. I just say, like, if you want like all action, just skip over the how they made the dinosaur part. Not important.
Look,
Yeah, that's a drag.
It
That
is,
part.
and it's long.
by the time my son's in the 5th grade, I'm be like, look, it's time for 300-page books. Let's sit and read.
Nah.
I'm not sure how old I was when I read Jurassic Park.
I don't know. I at 12 maybe.
I don't know, but I'm a reader though, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not a reader.
Yeah, we used to read all the time. I definitely read. Okay, so I was in 9th grade, so I was 13, 14. I read Great Expectations,
hate that book.
Cujo, which that was crazy.
Yeah.
That
Firestarter.
was great. That was a good book.
Yeah. So
Fahrenheit 451. That's a good book. Not long, but that's a good
it's not
book.
like I did read Fahrenheit 451. I feel like that was before high school. Was it?
You read that in middle school?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I don't remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made us read books in high school, and I mean, I picked the long books because then I only had to read like one book for the
Oh,
for the
because
quarter.
the accelerated reader, and then yeah.
How does that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, well, because you got points for the book, and people were like reading at a fourth grade level, and I'm like, all right. And so I tested it. I tested, and I could read the bigger books. So I'm like, well, Great Expectations is worth all the points for the semester. So.
Yeah, that's how it works. You take a test, they give you your reading level, and then they say, like, you got to read X amount of books in this category. Or you can read 2 really big books. I think I read, like, The Green Mile.
Oh, I read that too. Green Mile was good.
Yeah,
was
that one,
good.
man, that's one of my favorite books, The Green Mile.
Yeah.
Nah, my favorite book is
For
A Time to
readers here,
Kill.
I cannot relate.
Yeah.
Cannot relate.
Yeah, dude. I remember. Look, if you can get into Great Expectations, then you're good as a reader. Because I was definitely into the book.
You got into The Great Expectations?
Yeah.
I did not
Oh.
like that book.
That book is
I
a
did not.
drag, and the movie is worse.
Yeah, I didn't watch the movie.
Yeah.
But I remember I had my little reading spot under the fish tank in our living room.
That's reading spot.
Yep. And man, I just sat down with that. I read it in a
Hey,
few
you know
days.
how bad it is? You know how bad it is? Like, you know them comics that be in the newspapers?
Yeah.
Like them little quick ones that be having them little jokes. Whenever I get to one of them comics with like the long paragraph, like I'll be like, yeah, I'm not reading that. Keep it quick and simple, man. Like what I need is a comic, man. What I need a big paragraph in here explaining what's going on in the picture. I can see the picture. Like yeah, I'm not reading that.
All right.
Never wrote that, wasted the time with me. So I'm not reading all that. That's how bad of a reader I am. Man. Like I hate reading.
Maybe 3D
yeah.
Rivals should review a novel one of these days.
We should. Can it be A Time to Kill?
Like I'm gonna miss that episode.
All right.
No, I try though. I would try. Like I seriously try, but like my attention span for like reading without pictures.
What you got to use your? Did you have an imagination as a child?
Yeah, I got a crazy imagination. That's why I am the way I am today. Like,
So
it's like
you're reading. You
like
create
reading
the
a black
picture in
and
your
white
mind.
page. Yeah, I did that. But it's like a black and white page, man. It just in my mind, it's just like, boring.
To me, reading a book is like watching a movie in your head.
It is. I'm trying to think of a good book
Yeah.
that he could read that would keep his attention from the beginning to end.
Nightfall.
Well, I read the Watching.
Yeah.
I read the Watching Go to Birmingham. That was real good.
The who, the what?
Watching Go to Birmingham. Y'all never read that?
No.
Oh,
Really?
No.
It was one of them. What's it called? Them award-winning books with that gold thing on the.
No,
front.
I remember that.
like To Kill a Mockingbird or
yeah.
something?
Yeah, like that. But it was different. It was like a black family that went down to the South, and they had to deal with racism and stuff.
I was like, this sounds bad already.
No, that was the book was
but it
about from the
cool.
name.
It was cool though. Like it was in like more so modern times, but it was still like some racism going on down in the South that they had
Hey.
to deal with. But yeah, it was cool though.
I read Coffer Boy, which is about apartheid Africa, South Africa.
Yeah, I read that too.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah. I read that. I read Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh, okay.
I know,
Oh
right?
wow,
Right?
wow.
Yeah. Don't know. Well, I had, was that? Yeah, I had to read that in college.
So, going back to Jurassic Park before we go on any further down the book reading road. What books are good? Any other stuff you got there, Delinda?
Yeah. All right. So James Cameron wanted to direct a movie, but said that Universal beat him to buying out the rights by only a few hours. His words in quotation marks. His version would have been different.
Yeah.
He said think Alien with dinosaurs, which I'm not mad at though.
Okay.
'Cause I
All right.
do-
Yeah.
I do feel, and I don't know if I sound like a crazy person, I do wish I want the movie to be more like the book because the book was more
violent.
I didn't want to say violent, but yes, the book is more violent.
I was going to go with graphic.
That's a nicer word for violent. Yes.
So you wanted more violence and graphic.
Well,
of blood and gore.
In a way, because it's not like it was like unfounded. It fits the story well. And I'm just like, oh man, Jurassic Park will be even better if this scene from the book was in it. You know?
Yeah.
Although at the same time, if it was, then I, as a little kid, probably would not have been able to see it. So it's kind of a trade-off.
No, you wouldn't have been able to see it.
Right.
It was good enough, but I feel like because when you say James Cameron, see, modern day makes me think Avatar, and I was like, nah, but I forgot about
Avatar.
Alien, yeah.
And didn't he do Judgment Day? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
T2, yeah.
See?
Yeah.
All right, so and this was around that time, so this might have been good, especially if you got Alien-esque Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
All right.
Now this is where he fails. Okay. See, we're all on board for James Cameron's Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna rip it away. So he was gonna have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Grant.
All right, nope.
Oh no!
You can stop right there. You can stop right there.
You didn't let me finish the rest.
No, what?
Like, get to the chopper! Get to the chopper!
No, we were talking about we can't believe other people as Harrison Ford as Grant.
Yeah.
I definitely can't see Arnold Schwarzenegger. No.
Wouldn't it just be Predator all over again?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Was he
it's
gonna
Predator.
snap a dinosaur's neck?
That you can see, like you can see the dinosaur.
Exactly. Okay.
What are you gonna?
Yeah, and then Bill Paxton as Malcolm.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I could see it, but no, I don't like it.
Jeff Goldblum was perfect for Malcolm.
Absolutely.
Yep, he brought his.
What Malcolm was supposed to be, his psychotic and chaotic, and he played that perfectly. I don't really see anybody else being able to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then Charleston Heston as Hammond. See, I only know Charleston Heston from the Ten Commandments, and I know he's been in a bunch of stuff, but I've only seen him in the Ten Commandments.
He's in Planet of the Apes.
The original, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, I know he's been in a ton of stuff, but I haven't seen him in anything else. So I'm gonna have to say no to that too.
Yeah.
So then I was all on board, and then he ruined it by his actor choices.
Those
Yeah.
actor choices are definitely bad.
Definitely killed
Yeah, it's horrible.
it. Definitely killed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, James. Definitely.
Yeah, no, we're good.
By,
We're glad we got Steven
those hours.
Spielberg. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs that.
So Spielberg was actually in the early productions of a ER movie
Huh?
when he heard about Crichton, which was also a book by Crichton, which I'm like, seriously? But anyways, when he heard about Crichton writing the Jurassic Park book, so basically he dumped ER and was like, I'd rather make Jurassic Park. And
Yeah.
so that's what happened.
I agree
But
with this.
he did help develop ER into a TV show and not a movie, which, if you guys don't know, ER became super successful and basically was what Grey's Anatomy was before Grey's Anatomy was a thing.
Right.
It was
ER
And
was
also-
successful?
Yeah. It gave you George Clooney
Gave you George Clooney.
and Ming
It
Na
was
Wei.
on for like 15 years.
All right. Okay. Hold on. Y'all can't detect the sarcasm in my voice. I know that.
Okay, I thought you were being sarcastic. I just want to make sure.
I,
Super successful.
Nope, I missed it. I definitely missed it.
And I do believe ER came out, what, a year after Jurassic Park? So,
Okay.
I don't know how that would have been a movie, though.
It doesn't
How
sound
is that a
interesting
movie?
as a movie.
That's weird.
I don't even know how it's a book. It's weird. But yeah, so yeah, that apparently instead of getting ER, we got Jurassic Park. I'm not mad at it.
Not either.
Although I do like ER though. All right, this was the first movie to use DTS surround sound.
Oh.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. It's weird. There's a lot of firsts in this movie where just now just seems like something standard. Where at the time it was like, we don't know, we can do this. So weird. And then it's like something that's like, what, 27 years ago? It doesn't seem... A lot has changed in 27 years.
I'm sure a lot has.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. So... technology-wise, a ton has changed.
Yeah, it's a whole lot. Even just between the Jurassic Park movies, you can tell. Like, oh,
yeah. Well, like, because I don't know, did we mention on the podcast, like, how they shot The Mandalorian and how that definitely would change movies in the future? Yeah. Like, yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that has made it come up.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff in this that was maybe ambitious for its time. And actually, because this was successful, that made them believe, like, oh, we can shoot the prequels to the Star Wars movie. Like, oh, technology does exist. So now we can do the prequels, which I wish you guys hadn't done the prequels, but they did.
But this is why.
Yeah.
You mean, what do you mean? I thought Star Wars only came out in the 70s.
Yep, that's exactly when they started.
There's only 3. And the first one they came out with in modern times.
Okay. So this movie only has like 50 like CGI dinosaur moments, which at that time was unprecedented. So they did a lot of things with practical effects because at the time using CGI just wasn't something that was around a lot. And actually I'm gonna get to later, I'm gonna mention it was just like they wasn't even sure if they could pull it off.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even notice 50.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you say 50, and how many... Yeah.
Like 50 instances, or like 50 animals?
Like 50 instances.
Okay.
There's not 50 animals in the movie. Yeah, now we have like 80,000.
Yeah. The whole movie was CGI. Looking at you, Lion King. Why did they make a live action Lion? Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Like, that was a serious jump. You would. Yeah. So the dinosaurs only appear in 15 minutes of the movie. In a 2-hour movie, they only show up in 15 minutes of it.
Really?
Interesting, right?
Really?
That's it.
Seems like there was a lot more dinosaurs.
Because the scenes you get is so great, but they're packed in, right? So you have the scene with the Triceratops. That's what, 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the T-Rex attacking the Jeep. The T-Rex and the Gallimimus, or whatever you call those things.
Gallimimus?
Gallimimus.
Was that the real name, or were they just coming up with some names?
No, that's the real name.
Rhinoceros doesn't exist. I think that's the only thing they made up.
Didn't they? No, a Brachiosaurus.
Speaking of
Brachiosaurus?
that, speaking of that, though, remember when they was in the tree and he had like a leaf and it was pulling against the dinosaur?
Yeah.
Like, there ain't no way that you strong enough to pull against no daggone dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
He got
actually
yanked
give
out the
it a
tree.
challenge. I'm like, he would yank you. Yeah, he would let you clear out the tree. I'm like, that wasn't realistic.
And then stepped on you.
Why are you trying to get stepped on?
They ain't gonna know you down there. It was like, yeah, it's gonna trample you after that. Like, I mean,
hey, all right. Do y'all now? Mistakes have been made with fossils. Do y'all think the T-Rex arms is a mistake? Like, those aren't actually its arms.
Oh, the little baby arms?
Yeah.
That does bother me. That bothers me a lot.
No, because it seems to fit.
They've mixed up fossils before.
Maybe they were a little bit longer, but I can't see them being like fully functioning arms.
Right, because it's a what do you call the animals that stand like a bipod? Is that what we call those things that stand on 2 legs?
Biped?
Yeah, whatever, same thing. So generally animals that are their arms are smaller. A little bit. Maybe they're not that small.
They're usable. Can the T-Rex use it?
No, man, he can't even clap. He can't even clap.
Okay.
Like they're basically just there for the heck of it.
All right.
They don't need their arms.
All right, Delinda, continue with your.
Okay, so we can go back to CGI for a moment. So originally, they did use animatronics, which means they built like dinosaur robots or whatever. Not really robots, but like guys pressing buttons and trolling things to get the dinosaurs to move. But for like when the dinosaurs were running and stuff, they were going to use stop motion animation, which is horrible.
Very
they
horrible.
Didn't do that. But at the time, that's what they had. And then ILM, which is Industrial Light and Magic, said like, "Yo, we can do this in CGI." And they had just came off from doing Terminator 2, and Spielberg wasn't convinced that he's like, "I don't know about this computer stuff," and and so he's like, "Show me." And so at the time, ILM has never done CGI living creatures. So even they told him like, "Yeah, we can do it," but they really hadn't done it before. And so the scene they showed him was the Gallimimus running in the field. And so he liked it so much, he's like, "Yo, this is what we're doing." And which is sad because the stop motion guys had actually been hired and they were already started working. And then he was just like, "Y'all can kick rocks." No, he didn't fire them. They got another position. But
it would have been bad, though. It would have been so bad.
It would have been terrible. Stop motion animation is like the worst.
Like, it's good in some for some instances, but like for a live action movie like this, I don't think that would have been good.
No, it wouldn't have been good, but I think just to consider at the time that's the only way they knew how to do it, and only just for ILM to say, "Hey, we think we can do it," and then for just the first time for them to ever do it, and I would say like just absolutely nail it. It's kind of cool.
Definitely.
Yeah. So they built.
It definitely worked out well.
Oh no, it did. It did. Which I'm glad they did, because otherwise Jurassic Park would not be the classic that it is.
It would have been trash.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Jurassic trash.
So they built a life-size T-Rex that weighed over 10,000 pounds. And like for so, and then they use like the little army things to get it to move, for it to breathe, to blink his eyes and move his. It's like really detailed. I'm like, y'all went all out for this. So, but here's the thing. It was not designed to get wet. And Steven Spielberg is like, "It's raining and we need water. And they're like, "Yo, this thing can't get wet though." He's like, no, it's raining. So anyways, the dinosaur started, because it's like built out of like foam and, rubber or whatever. It started soaking up all the water, which was causing the machine to malfunction. And so what happens is that it started moving on its own. So you'll be like, yada, 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 minding your own business. And then the dinosaur will start moving. And it started to freak people out. And so in between takes, they had to like go in and try to dry the dinosaur off, because they couldn't get it to work right because it was so much water.
Yeah, nah, man.
Like even knowing it's a machine, I'm like, no, I'm not going for that.
Right? I can't be eating my lunch and this thing start moving.
Yeah, I'm like, no, nah, buddy. Movie's becoming too real.
Right. Well, Laura Dern did say, like, the scene where she's turning the power back on and the raptor like comes out. She's like, that really did scare her, because she's like, "Oh, I think we did it," and they really did shoot like the little robotic raptor out at her, and she's like, "Yeah, no."
You didn't know it was coming?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't know how it was going to be, because a lot of times they didn't see the dinosaur before. So you shoot your scene, and then it's like, "Hey, dinosaur!" And they were saying like, because it looked so real. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think your initial reaction would be to be scared. That makes sense.
I think so.
I think so. Even if a machine, man, you don't even know what a machine gonna do.
Yeah.
I've been scared.
Yeah. So Spielberg came up with the idea for the glass waters to be vibrating on the car dashboard. So he's like, he tells his crew, yo, put that in the movie. Only thing is, they didn't know how to do it. And so, he's asking like, "So how's it coming along?" They're like, "Oh, it's great. But they really hadn't came up with an idea.
Liars. Little liars.
Yeah. And so eventually, after doing just about everything they could think of, It's like a guitar string underneath the dashboard, and that is how they get the ripple effect. The impact tremor. That is how they do it.
Yep. Play a guitar string and get the vibrations through it.
Yeah.
Smart idea.
Yeah, smart. I mean, play it off for you. You know, you lying to your boss, but they made it work.
Cut their pay.
Yeah. Scientists believe that the T-Rex can run up to 50 miles per hour, but the model they built can only run up to 25 miles an hour, so they like just go with it. So otherwise, they'd have been so dead in that Jeep.
Yeah, like 50, a big, really? That's like an apex predator, man. Like that thing that big and it can run 50 miles an hour. Come on now.
Wait, that was an actual model chasing them?
What do you do?
Yeah, some of it was CGI, but part of it was the model too. But they can only get it to move up to 25 miles an hour. Which is still pretty good for a giant machine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. All right. So in the book, this all takes place, like I said in the movie too, all takes place in Costa Rica. They originally were going to shoot in Costa Rica, but there was issues with, roadways and stuff to get to the shooting site. So they just shot in Hawaii. All right. I said all that to say that Hawaii got hit with a Category 5 hurricane. And so the shots in the movie where they're showing like the water splashing against the coast or whatever, that is actually shots of the hurricane that they had to sit through while filming the movie.
Is that why they put a hurricane into the movie?
That was a good idea. Get that in there.
Maybe that is why they put a hurricane in the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, because there was a lot of flooding going on throughout the movie. Like once that storm hit.
Yeah.
And then Big Fat Dennis had to try to get away.
Yeah. But also in that scene, so Steven Spielberg wanted more water, and they was like, "No, dude, there's enough water." He's like, "No, it needs more water." And also, one of the reasons we don't see the Dilophosaurus move is because they couldn't get the thing to work right, so they just built a trench and like sat it down in there. But it was supposed to be moving just like all the other dinosaurs, but they couldn't get it to work right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Spielberg still believes this thing needed more water.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It seems like a ton of water to me.
I know. Jeez.
A water fetish.
Oh, but let's go back to the hurricane for 1 second. So the hurricane did destroy some of their sets, and actually Samuel L. Jackson was going to get a scene where we saw how his character died. But the hurricane destroyed the set, and so they just cut it out the movie. Disappointing.
There was an arm in there.
Yes.
Arm back in there.
Hey,
what about that though? Like, okay, you getting chased by a raptor, and then all of a sudden his arm gets down on you, like, oh, yeah, you'll protect me from the raptor. Why did she calm down all of a sudden after that? Like everything's over.
Yeah. I was thinking it.
All over now. Like, what's up? It's not over yet. Like he can get eaten just as much as you can get eaten.
Yeah, there's still a raptor on the other side of that fence.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
That's true.
But, I digress.
Okay. So the sound of the T-Rex footsteps was made from recording the sound of trees falling. So that is what trees sound like when they get cut down. Interesting.
Oh, so that's the answer to that question.
Yeah. A tree falls in the forest. No, that question is dumb. It's real dumb. You can get philosophical all you want. Sound is a pressure wave. If something makes a pressure wave, then yes, it makes a sound. You don't have to be there to hear it. That's the answer to that question. Continue.
That's what I always thought. I'm like, yeah, there's a sound. It's just nobody heard it. Too far away from it. But there was a sound. It wasn't complete silence.
Are we done with this?
Yeah, I don't get the question. Is it logical?
I don't know, because I do like to rant.
Yeah.
About that crap. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Is that seriously a question? Because, people like to get philosophical. Like, oh, no, man, I'm saying if it's light in the room and ain't nobody there to see it, it ain't no light for real.
Yeah, no, I think the light is there. Our world doesn't only exist where we are.
Right. But,
Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. It was Jeff Goldblum's idea for Anna Malcolm to do something to distract the T-Rex so the other people can get away. in the script, he was supposed to run away scared, similar to the lawyer.
I feel like that doesn't fit with the character, though.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lawyer was a coward from the beginning.
Right,
Yeah.
though?
He didn't seem like he was cowardly before that part of the movie.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's why Jeff Goldblum was like, nah, this guy wouldn't do that. So, that's how he ended up getting changed. The Raptors in the kitchen scene, which is also like one of the best scenes ever.
Definitely.
So, part of that was guys dressed up in raptor suits.
All right.
I don't know why that's so funny. It just would have been.
I just imagine it's someone in a raptor suit.
Yeah, they're like, we couldn't see or nothing. I'm like, yeah.
I bet.
Some of it was CGI, but some of it was guy in raptor costume.
All right, cool.
Which now would just be pure just CGI all the way through. So, the Dilophosaurus. They do not spit venom. There is no evidence that they do that. Michael Crichton made it up for the book. Steven Spielberg added the little frilly fan things that comes out. None of that's real.
But they don't even have frilly fan things?
Really?
Nope. They have the crest on their head.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm glad it doesn't. That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Like when he was in the car and I was like, yeah, I would have died right there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done.
He was an idiot for looking back, but
He was an idiot for looking back. And in the book, his death is a lot more gruesome.
yeah, it's
Gruesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dinosaur like ripped off his leg and stuck his leg up his butt, and then he ripped up his arm, smacked him with it. His arm out his mouth. I'm like, man, the dinosaur was really thinking this through.
Wow. Okay, don't listen to Dan, but if you want to know how he dies, basically he gets gutted and decapitated. There you go.
all right. Next bit of what else you got, Delinda?
It's basically what I said.
B.D. Wong, who plays the doctor, who shows up in all of the other Jurassic Park movies but 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
He auditioned for the movie off of the book because the script wasn't finished yet, and then was disappointed to find out that he really didn't have a big role because in the book his role is huge and he's like kind of evil. And well, not evil, but whatever. But anyways, yeah, he only had like a 5-minute part, and he thought his part was gonna be bigger because in the book Henry has a huge part. But yeah, no.
Yeah,
I would have.
He had more time in the later movies.
He did, but it's just like you audition based off of the book, and then you realize, like, yeah, your character's not the guy in the book. Disappointing.
Yeah, I guess so. I give him that.
All right. So the movie was supposed to originally end with the raptors being killed by falling dinosaur bones. Spielberg changed it to have the T-Rex to come in and attacking the raptors because he felt like people would want to see the T-Rex again. I mean, I think the ending kind of great.
Yeah, that is great. This is awesome. And then with the banner falling down and the T-Rex roaring, you're like, yeah, like it's awesome.
Like how we mentioned how his arms were so short, he had to grab the raptor off his back with his head or his mouth, and then fling him across the room because his arms didn't work. So I thought that was pretty dope, though.
Yes, because his
There's
arms,
no way he would have grabbed it off with his arms.
His arms are non-functional. I'm sure his arms do something.
Yeah, it can't bring food to his mouth.
It's hard to imagine what. Yeah, can't do that. Can't eat with it. Can't scratch nothing.
He can scratch like we said. Chest. Like
the immediate vicinity of his arms, he can scratch that. It's like he can't claw another animal or anything with him. I'm still.
Right. He'd have to lay down on the ground, smack another animal with his arm. It's just not gonna happen no other way. And then now he's vulnerable. He's laying down on the ground.
I think it was a mistake. I think they got some fossils mixed up.
But everyone though.
Yep.
Okay.
But what arms what animal do arms belong to?
I don't know.
What does it fit?
The animal that he ate?
Yeah, he ate it and it wasn't fully digested. I don't know. But All right.
Alrighty.
Anything else?
Last random movie fact. So someone did the math and said that it would cost $23 billion to build Jurassic Park. And it costs $11 billion to operate annually. That's...
Yikes.
I don't think they make that money back.
No, I don't think you make that.
Like this
Well, they
park
were
doesn't
talking
make
about
money.
charging $10,000.
Oh yeah, and then having a coupon day for the poor folk.
Yeah, the lawyer. A coupon day. Come on, man. Come on now.
So
messed
I guess it would cost $10,000, which I guess it's not too far fetched because Disney World ain't cheap.
It ain't $10,000.
Something like that.
Yeah, but Disney World will
but
cost you a couple of
Disney
grand.
World
don't
ain't
worry.
Jurassic Park, bro. Probably, at least, I would say. And that's just when you get down there. I ain't even including plane tickets. That's just when you get down there. Hotel, food, entertainment.
I guess so. I guess
Yeah.
so.
I mean, I guess 10 grand is not too far fetched. Maybe in 1993
Yeah.
it is.
Maybe then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Nitpicks?
Sure. Well, let's keep them short.
Okay. No.
30 seconds or less?
30 seconds. Okay. All right. We just talked about how great the ending is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the T-Rex come from? How did he get in the building? Did he just
Without
come out the
breaking
sky?
anything?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Because he didn't break anything.
No one thought of that though.
Well, that's the thing. When Steven Spielberg said, like, he wants to add the T-Rex, they said, well, how does he get in there? And T-Rex is like, and Spielberg is like describing the scene. He's like, no, I meant, how does he get in the building? And they just kind of like, yada, yada, whatever. T-Rex. So.
Yada yada, whatever. T-Rex.
And boom, there he is. It was like nobody noticed. Like nobody.
Right.
He didn't break anything. He didn't feel the feet steps, the thump thump. Nobody felt that. Like the T-Rex really got, oh, that's what his arms are for. He lays on his belly and then his tiny little arm drags him across the ground where nobody can hear him coming. Oh, now I get it. Now I get it.
Okay. And then, my only other nitpick. All right, so when the girl is turning the locks back on, Tim, while you standing there jumping around doing nothing,
He was literally jumping around.
That gun.
just hand him the gun or help them close the door. But what you were doing was not helpful. Just
It was the-
I was
Most irritating
irritated with that whole scene.
the
Oh.
whole thing.
Also, Tim is dead well before then because he got electrocuted.
Oh yeah,
and
Tim.
electrocuted,
So-
yeah.
That
definitely did.
would have been Tim. Would have been crispy cakes. Like, come on.
Crispy cakes. His hands were wrapped around the wire, so when it turned on, he would not have been shot off. He would have been stuck on there, and it would just continue electrocuting him until
Yeah.
he burnt to a crisp. So
Right.
that's how that would have worked.
They couldn't do that, though. They couldn't do that to the kids.
You can
The
kill
kid.
kids.
Yeah,
like
Quiet
that.
Place proved that.
I was say Quiet Place killed him. Stephen
You
King.
gotta leave it up to the.
Doesn't a
you gotta leave
kid
it up to
die
the
in
imagination,
Cujo?
I guess.
Not in the movie.
Not in the
Not
movie.
Only in the book.
He dies in the book. Dehydration.
Oh.
It was sad.
Oh wow. So he suffers.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
suffered.
of course,
They
yeah.
were stuck in a car.
Yeah.
Man, I'm like, what kind of dog stalks a car for days? Like, what's wrong with you? But
A psychotic dog.
That hits Cujo. That's a good movie. Okay. That was my last nitpick.
That one was violent enough for you, huh?
You know, whatever. The only other issues I have is just
I
like
digress.
whatever. It's just the differences from the book, which is not a nitpick. It's just I wish they were in the movie. That's all.
Yep. All right. Well, let's rate it. Jurassic Park. What do you say with our very, very skewed rating system that we have here?
Best movie ever.
Best movie ever.
Agreed, because I love Jurassic Park like to death. So
Yeah.
that's
I love
movie
it.
ever.
Yeah, best movie ever. That is a 4 out of 4. Excuse me. I can count
Oh my God.
4 out
Whoa.
of 4.
Whoa, worst math ever.
4 out of 4 for 3D Rivals. So Jurassic Park is the best movie ever. So,
wait. Do we want to do best quote? It's Welcome to Jurassic Park, just saying. But okay, now we can end.
Oh, best quote? Life finds a way.
Oh, no, that's not the best quote. But the best quote I can't say.
What? Hold on to your butts.
No, that one was cool too. But remember when she was digging through all that poop and he and Malcolm walked out, he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Or what about must drive faster? Must drive fast.
Oh yeah, must drive.
Mine is should we chance moving him? Please, chance it.
What else we got? It was a lot of quotes in the movie.
Yeah.
It was.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. It's just the way he said it. It's Welcome to
Yeah.
Jurassic
Or I thought you would have said this. Clever girl.
Oh, clever.
Oh, clever girl.
And shoot her.
Shoot her! Shoot her! They kept that in the Lego Jurassic Park game, and it's amazing. Thank you very much, Lego Jurassic Park.
Yes, Lego Jurassic Park. Thank you.
If you haven't played it, you need to.
It's a fun game. You should check it out.
I shall do that.
Yeah, with that being said, so that's our thoughts on Jurassic Park. Let us know what you thought. Comment wherever you watch the podcast. Also, don't forget to follow us and, leave a rating if that's a thing where you're watching. We'll appreciate your feedback. If you want to reach out to us, you can always reach out to us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/3drivals. You can also tweet us on Twitter. It is at 3_rivals on Twitter. And we have a Gmail, 3drivals@gmail.com. Other than that, thank you so much for listening, guys. Peace out.
Wow.